So you really have to see this. Donald Trump Jr. is so desperate for time on air, but also desperate for opportunities to talk about how his beloved father, the former president, is just so liked by everyone that he went on Sean Hannity's Fox News program last night, on which there were multiple segments about a group of people that came out in Florida with Trump flags to cheer Donald Trump on President's Day as Donald Trump drove, I guess, from golfing back to his resort or something like that. And as I was watching this, I actually almost felt slightly sorry for Don Jr., who, of course, is just so desperate to be liked by his dad, but so desperate to try to keep the party going, for lack of a better term. Check this out. First, you're going to see a clip here of Sean Hannity claiming that this group of it appears to be several hundred Trump supporters spontaneously appeared to cheer on Trump as he returned from golfing. Now, if you watch the video, you're going to notice people with gigantic flags, like 8-foot, 10-foot flags. These are not things you can say, oh, Trump's going to drive through. I'll just pop into 7-Eleven and get a 10-foot Don't Tread on Me or MAGA or MAGA or Trump flag. You have to plan for this stuff. The police cordons clearly were organized ahead of time. Anyway, nothing about it seems spontaneous. But here's Hannity saying, look at this spontaneous thing that just popped up.
This very day. Take a look right there. See that video? See what's on your screen? A few hours ago, spontaneously, thousands of people in Palm Beach lined up in support of the former president as his motorcade traveled through Florida. I have a question, Mitch McConnell, John Thune. How come you've never had this kind of enthusiasm at any of your events? Take a look.
A defiant Sean Hannity there saying, hey, listen, a senator like John Thune, barely known to anybody, never had people with flags cheering them like a former president of the United States. What a kind of strange flex that is. But anyway, then that's not all, because in comes Don Jr. to talk about the, quote, totally organic parade of flag-bearing Trumpists that appeared. Take a look at this.
You're looking at Dad coming back from golf. Did you see thousands of people out of nowhere? Nobody organized it that I could see. No, certainly nobody associated with your father that I know of. Do you?
No, I mean, this is totally organic. And again, it just shows that the American people are with Donald Trump. Those millions of people. Sean, I saw it all day. I put up a separate video, even to the one that you posted earlier.
Now, it's actually really funny how Hannity hedges. Nobody organized thousands of people and a police presence. Well, no one associated with your father anyway. And I guess what Sean Hannity means is that Trump didn't organize it himself. Okay. And Don Jr. really seems to be struggling with the math there. And you kept hearing this during the impeachment trial, actually, the disenfranchisement of 74 million people who voted for Trump. A few hundred or even 1,000 people getting out to support someone in a country of 330 million people, when Joe Biden got millions more votes than Donald Trump. What mathematical significance do a few hundred or even 1,000 people have? Now, on the facts, they're of course lying to you. There was nothing organic or spontaneous about this event. It was President's Day yesterday. People came from relatively far away for this. They drove with their flags. And people knew about the event starting at least a week before. It was being promoted. There was nothing coincidental about it. Here's one advertisement for the event from Right Side Broadcasting Network, starting to promote this well in advance. They even say, bring your flags. Those flags, you can't just stop in a 7-Eleven or a Walmart and get an 8-foot Trump flag. You've got to plan ahead. And what's more sad, I mean, listen, there's a lot of sad stuff going on here. One thing is, like, they always have to go further. They could just go with, there was great turnout on President's Day for Donald Trump. Okay, all right, well, a few hundred supporters came out. That's great. Why do you have to say it was spontaneous and it just popped up out of nowhere? Like, it's completely unbelievable. Obviously, it didn't pop out of nowhere. But maybe what's more sad is that Donald Trump Jr. is desperate not just for relevance, but he's so desperate for dad's approval. And that is, this is a cycle that repeats itself. We don't have to get all psychological, but Donald Trump was desperate for his dad's approval, and his dad treated him terribly. And that's where a lot of Trump's complex comes from. And it seems to be repeated exactly between Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. It's all sad, quite frankly, but it is what it is, as they say. And hopefully this will at some point kind of wind down.